Good morning. Today is the 29th day of Teves. Beautiful Sunday morning. Nice snow coming down from the sky. Beautiful. Hanaisim Shelek that summer. Hashem gives us snow, white like sheep's wool. We're on page 76 in the Chayenu, and we're beginning chapter Chai, chapter Yudches, chapter 18, Perik Yudches. And we were discussing how all you have to do to love and fear Hashem is close your eyes and think about it. No big deal. But what if someone just can't do that? What if I just can't do that? So there's another way. There's another way. Let's talk about this. Today's lesson, every Jew has a hidden love towards Hashem, which makes it very easy for a Jew to be very near. By learning Torah and fulfilling mitzvahs. To explain more clearly. Why does it say it's very near to you in the pasuk? This thing is very near. What's this thing? Avas Hashem and Yiras Hashem. One should recognize that even a person who has limited understanding of the greatness. Remember we said just close your eyes and think of the greatness of God. What am I thinking? It's very difficult for some people. And if they can't think of the greatness of Hashem, then we might think that he has no heart to comprehend the greatness of Hashem. If he's not able to think about it, then it's not going to channel from the mind into emotions, and then what? It's not going to produce a love and a fear of Hashem in his mind. So what then? Alpha Pikain, nevertheless, but still, the Alter Rebbe says that this thing is very near to him. For him to guard himself from transgressing any mitzvah or to do a positive mitzvah, and in particular the study of Torah, which the way we describe it here is counterbalances them all, counterbalances all the other mitzvahs. And that's it. If he wants to love Hashem and fear Hashem, all he has to do is do the mitzvahs and stay away from the ones that you're not supposed to do. B'fiv livavoi mamish be'umka deliba be'amislamita v'chilu ruchimu. He can fulfill all these things, the mitzvahs and learning Torah, and especially Torah, Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, in his mouth and in his heart, and in the true sense of his heart. Because there's no intellect getting in the way. Be all emotional based. From the depths of his heart, with absolute sincerity of love and fear of Hashem. So what type of love are we talking about? The Alter Rebbe says that the love and the fear that we're talking about are emotions in the fullest sense of the word. But how can one acquire a true love and fear of Hashem if he's incapable of thinking of the greatness of Hashem? If he's incapable of meditation, being inspired and uplifted and having kavanah. How? Through the inheritance which is passed on generation to generation, all the way back till our patriarchs, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And since every Jew possesses this love as an inheritance, he doesn't need to create it. Okay, he can't think of the greatness of Hashem. It's hard for him to sit down and meditate. It's not his thing. It's a very difficult thing to do. Done. He gets the love and fear of Hashem through a Yerusha from our forefathers. First, we have to make clear what this love is. This inheritance. What is this inheritance that we're receiving? And also, how did it become our inheritance? And how does one inherit a love? It's one thing if you inherit blue eyes or brown hair or, whatever it might be. But how do you inherit an emotion? And also, where's fear here? Talking about a love from our forefathers, but where is the ahava, the year we got? Okay, the explanation is as follows. The patriarchs, as is known, were the chariot of Hashem. They were completely subservient and completely batal to the Eibishter. Just as when you ride a bike or you drive a car, so the car has no mind of its own, the bike has no mind of its own. Wherever the rider takes it, that's where it goes. So since they were completely subservient to the Eibishter, therefore they merited the privilege of drawing down for all future generations and for all their future descendants a nefesh, ruach, and neshama from the 10 holy spheres of the 4 worlds, Atzilus, the highest, Bria, Yitzira, and Asiya, our world. In which of these 4 worlds and from which sphere within these worlds does the soul come from? Each individual, according to his level and according to his deeds. The nefesh, the malchus Asiya. Even the most unworthy and most sinful yid is their neshama is drawn down from the level of nefesh of malchus Asiya. Even if it's the lowest realm, it's still spiritual soul that comes from the spiritual worlds and is invested in your physical body. This malchus of Asiya is the lowest level of holiness in the world of Asiya, this world. Since malchus is one of the 10 holy spheres, and since holiness is the realm of unity where every level is comprised of all the other levels. So even though it's the lowest level, still there's a chain-like descent that started all the way from the essence of Hashem. Within the Chachma, the Asiya is clothed Chachma, the Malchus, the Atzilus, wisdom of royalty in the world of emanation. So there's a whole chain like descent and all. So even though we might be so far, I guess we can use this also for the love and the fear, which I guess he's going to explain in a minute, that just like the soul comes through maybe the lowest level, but it started all the way from Hashem because our neshama is a portion of Hashem himself. So too, the love that comes all the way down from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, right? It may have gone through a series or many, many, many generations and many different people, but nevertheless, they're able to pass on the love of Hashem. But back to our esoteric discussion here about Chachma, the Malchus, the Atzilus. In Chachma of Malchus, the Atzilus, which is the highest level, or the lowest of the highest level, is clothed Chachma Datzilus, since all the spheres of Atzilus incorporate each other, which in turn is illuminated by the actual light of Hashem. So the lowest level of the highest world receives its divine light and energy from Hashem. The Pasuk tells us that Hashem in His wisdom founded the earth, and in wisdom you have made them all. The word made indicates that Chachma is clothed in Asiya in action. So it might be a very high level, but it's down here in this world. So we see that the light of Hashem, the blessed Ein Sof, is garbed in the faculty of wisdom in the human soul, of whatever sort of Jew he may be. And the Alter is going to explain what that means coming up soon. V'chinas hachachma sheba im oirein seif baruch hu melubash ba mispa shetes b'chol b'chinas hanefesh kula. Achayosem b'chinas reisha ad b'chinas ragla. In turn, the soul's faculty of wisdom, together with the light of Hashem, the Ein Sof, that's garbed in it, suffuses all the levels of the soul, combines, it connects all the levels of the neshama in its entirety, from head to foot, as it were. From the highest level, nefesh, ruach, neshama, chai, yechida, all the way up to yechida, to animate them with Hashem's vitality. Kidduchsiv, achachma, techaya, ba'oleha. The pasuk says, wisdom in Koheles, wisdom gives life to those who possess it. What is life, by the way? Life is Torah mitzvahs. So the soul, which possesses the faculty of chachma, of wisdom, receives its life by means of this faculty as stated above. Lefa'amim, here in parentheses it says, Lefa'amim mamshichim paishi yisrael neshamas gvayes ma'oid shayu me'imke haklipos k'meshkas b'sefer gilgulim. At times, the neshama of a sinner may even bring down for their children very lofty souls which had been in the depths of the klipa. So, and that's from Sefer Gilgulim. It's a Kabbalistic work by Reb Chaim Vital, Zechrenu Livracha, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. So basically, it means like this. Sometimes a very erlicha couple has a kid that's not so, stark, let's say, following Torah mitzvahs. And sometimes it's the opposite. We have a couple that's very holy, very, very wild, or not so following Torah mitzvahs, and the soul that comes through them is from a very high level. And we never know exactly how that works out, but it's explained there in Sefer Gilgul. A Gilgul is a reincarnation. So, and that's just in parentheses, showing that sometimes that particular neshama has a job to complete. If that soul from a different generation didn't learn properly, didn't learn enough, didn't perform particular mitzvahs that he had the ability to learn, so he might come back in order to fulfill his mission in the world. So the takeaway chavref for today, and we're going to continue in this theme, discussing how we get this love of Hashem through our avos, but through many, many generations. We're going to discuss that going forward. But for today, we're a descendant of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And for a Jew, really, he has to do nothing. All he has to do is exist in order to love and fear Hashem. Of course, to enhance that, he has to learn and daven and do mitzvahs. But just by existing, he's inheriting the love all through all the generations and through all the different people that it comes through. And an innate love, even though it's concealed, it's still very much connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that's it. Just be Jewish. But it's not enough. But that's a good start. Then we have to do Torah and mitzvahs and daven and shovel the snow. Have a good day,